Hi and welcome. So tonight we're going to be cooking a pasta dish. It's a tomato and basil based sauce with minced beef and onions and lots of other good things in there. One thing it is not is a bolognese, and I've looked at YouTube. There are lots and lots of recipes claiming to be bolognese, and I'll categorically say right now this is not one of them. But one thing I like about Italian style cooking is you take all those flavours, you take all those ingredients, and if you don't follow all the traditional recipes to the letter, you can just experiment, you can create, you can come up with the sort of stuff that just works for you. So that's what this recipe is. It's something that I've cooked for a few years now. My wife really loves it, and hopefully you will too. Okay, so here's some of the ingredients we're going to use this evening. We've got 2 types of onion. We've got plain white onions, 2 of those, and 1 small red onion. For our meat, I'm using an organic British beef. It's about 500 grams of minced beef there. We've also got a few sprigs of celery. We have a large whole carrot. I've got a large sprig of basil, fresh basil, some garlic. For my main tomato base, I'm using a tin of chopped tomatoes that are just in their natural juice. I also have some close cut mushrooms, and for extra seasoning we've also got some just plain Italian seasoning and some Italian tomato puree double concentrate. Now also in the sauce is going to be some Leon Perrin's Worcestershire sauce, some balsamic vinegar, and a little dash of Tabasco. And also, most importantly, a decent wine, which I've chosen for tonight, a Shiraz Cabernet Sauvignon blend from South Africa, and that will form much of our sauce. And when that's served, I'm going to be using farfalle pasta. You don't have to use this, you could use penne, you could use even spaghetti, that's just one of my favourites. And we've got some fresh Parmesan cheese to grate on top. So I'm going to prepare the ingredients and we'll get cooking. Okay, after a lot of chopping, we now have our white and red onions chopped up fairly finely and mixed, finely chopped celery, again finely chopped carrots, there's my mushrooms quite roughly cut and quartered, and garlic and our fresh basil. So I'm going to fire up the pan now and get the sauce on the go. So for my sauce, I'm just going to add a splash of extra virgin olive oil to a pan, and wait for that to warm up slightly. Once the oil's nice and hot, I'm going to add in about half of the onion mix that I prepared. Get that going. I'm just going to cook this. I'm just going to sweat these out, and I don't want them to caramelise, so I'm just going to cook them until they go sort of translucent. Okay, that's a nice, it's starting to sweat nicely now, so I'm just going to add in now my garlic. And to that now I'm going to add my celery. And my finely chopped carrots. Just give that a good stir around. Okay, to that I'm going to add my chopped tomatoes. Again, it's a 400 gram tin of chopped tomatoes and tomato juice. I'm just going to add all of that in there. Just give it a mix around. to that, I'm just going to add not too much, but just a little bit of a hit of Tabasco, just a couple of shakes, and a nice swig of Worcestershire sauce, a little touch of balsamic vinegar, and finally about half a pint, sort of 300 ml of the red wine. To that I'm going to add two spoonfuls of double concentrate tomato puree. Get in there as well. Yeah, to that I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of brown demerara sugar. So now we're just going to let that now cook away over medium heat and get all that wine cooked out. So meanwhile, in a separate pan, which I've preheated with some olive oil, I'm just going to add the rest of our onions. I'm just going to sweat those up a little bit. Don't want them to caramelise, just to go slightly translucent. Now to that I'm going to add our minced beef. Now some people like to break this up very finely. Personally I like mine a little bit chunky when it's done, which is entirely personal preference. So what I'm going to do is break it up with a spatula, just in kind of one-inch little blocks, and cut it down the middle. And this will just, it keeps the mince sort of clumpy and together when it gets served. Again, if it's not your style, then it doesn't really affect the taste. So mix that in. After a few minutes, when that's started to turn a bit brown, I'm going to add in a healthy shake of Italian seasoning, followed by my basil. I'm going to add to that plenty of salt. Then you may like more or less salt depending on taste, and good turn of black pepper in there as well. And to finish off, just going to add our onions on top. Add our mushrooms on top. Just let those warm through. Okay, and just gently stir that into the mix. So our sauce has been going for about 20 minutes on a sort of medium to high heat, and we're now ready to take the meat and combine it with the sauce, and then we're going to just simmer that nice and gently until we're ready to serve. So, sauce, and I'm just going to combine that with all of our meat and flavouring, mushrooms, onions, everything from there. Okay, so mix that in, all around. It's still a little bit runny at the moment, but that will cook down. And what we're now going to do is I'm going to turn the heat right down on this, and we're just going to simmer it very gently for probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and just let all those flavours nicely cook in. So after about 15 or 20 minutes or so, it's probably a good idea just to have a quick taste, and you'll get an idea if you need more salt or any other seasonings in it. Actually really good. In my case, a little tiny bit of salt maybe. Okay, so it's about 15 minutes to go. I'm going to add my pasta now. I've got a pot of boiling water with some salt. In the meantime, my sauce has been on for about an hour and 5 minutes now, and as you can see, that's nicely cooked out, really thickening up lovely. Now, what I'm going to do now is take some double cream and not too much, but I just want to pour enough in. Nice swig. And what this will do is give it a lovely creamy orange texture. And I only want to do this in the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Stir it around. Just keep stirring it, add a little bit more in just until you get a little bit more. Stir it around. Really is the secret ingredient of the dish. It just gives everything such a lovely texture and lovely look as well. Okay, so we can let that cook away for a little bit, and as soon as the pasta's ready, we'll serve up. And we serve our sauce up on a bed of the farfalle pasta and topped off with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And now we're going to go and enjoy.